Punk came within freaking 5 feet of him, and the dude's behind the table at the gorilla position. So there was a table between him and Punk was at least 6 to 10 feet away from him.
Yeah.
So now on top of Punk telling the truth, oh my God, bro, do you look like a puss?
Well, you had to be, if you watch or know anything pro wrestling, you had to be under a rock if you weren't aware of the goings on of this past week. As far as the biggest buzz of the town was, you know what? There's going to be a announcement. Tony Khan was not happy with the CM Punk interview from Ariel Helwani. So guess what? It's going to be an announcement. AEW is going to show the footage.
You're being sarcastic. I got it now.
AEW is going to show the footage of the legendary moment between CM Punk and Jack Perry that CM Punk explained in his interview. And I guess Tony Khan's like, well, we're going to show you the real. We're going to show you what really happened. And, it was just about the same as what CM Punk explained. So that caused a big uproar. And, of course, this is what CM Punk said in response. He says... via IG stories, he has a thumbs up from George H.W. Bush.
Oh, the mission accomplished. What?
The mission accomplished. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
That's rich.
Yep. So, not 41, not H.W. Bush. 43. Yeah, W. Bush. Yeah. And so mission accomplished. That was his satirical response to Tony Khan's mission to destroy CM Punk or have his way or show his side or debunk. I mean, Vince Russo, what exactly was the purpose for this, and what did it actually accomplish?
Bro, I gotta tell you. I'll tell you exactly what it accomplished, Chris, because after I watched the footage, I went back and listened to Punk's comments, the interview with Ariel Helwani, right? Bro, Punk laid it out 100% correct. Here's the 3 things Punk said. Can't let you get close. And we saw what happened. Jack Perry got close and Punk pushed him away. Punk said, can't let you get close. I didn't punch anybody. I just choked somebody a little bit. That's exactly what happened. So, bro, here's the takeaway for me. If you watch that whole interview and Punk was telling the truth about that incident, then, bro, you could assume he was telling the truth throughout the entire interview, right?
Yeah.
Which is, bro, what I don't understand because, my God, Chris, Tony's got to have some kind of inner circle. And somebody in that inner circle's got to say, Tony, it happened just the way Punk said it happened. All you're going to do by showing this footage is prove that Punk told the truth. Yeah. So, bro, it's bizarre to me because, like I said, my takeaway is Punk told the truth verbatim. So I'm sure he told the truth throughout the entire interview.
Yeah, do you agree with those words there, EC3?
Yeah, I completely 100% agree with those words. I find it baffling and quizzical that a grown man could fear his life based on what looked to me like a grade school dust-up I had with Ryan Howe in Immaculate Conception, where I didn't just choke him, I actually shoved him a little bit and he fell into a dumpster. So it was real nothing burger, I'd say, but I think it was Vindication not vindication so much as, but like CM Punk told the truth pretty much exactly as it happened. I kind of call him the reverse Patrick Clark in that scenario. One more shout out for you, Chris. Yeah. It's literally right there. I don't know the end game. I don't know the reason why. I mean, I understand controversy creates cash. I believe Eric Bischoff said that, and I think I say that every week now. But I don't see this cash being cashed in, considering there is zero end goal business for this whole kerfuffle. So,
yeah, and to your point, you know, to piggyback off of what you just said, EC3. Where in the heck was the controversy here? I mean, when you really look at the video, you're expecting something like, oh man, I'm expecting it to be grossly different than CM Punk, because what you do is the only thing you did was just verify what he said. And that actually helps him. So it's putting him over for being a truth teller. And he doesn't even compete for the company anymore. So if you think about it, somehow either he wanted to get the real point across just for some personal therapeutic reasons that everybody had to witness, or he's trying to sabotage CM Punk's WWE career, which of course that's not going to happen. What else could he be doing this for? So if anything, I think it's a boomerang effect.
I got to tell you, Chris, you know, let's just talk facts and numbers, because I just pulled them up. Last week's viewership count was 752,000. Okay. Bro, keep in mind, a year ago was 866,000. Okay, so this week's, bro, was 819,000. So 48 and 19, 48, 67,000. They had 67,000 more people watch the show, where you know darn well next week it's going to go right back to the 752,000, because that footage certainly didn't hook anybody. Yeah. But Chris, I guarantee you, a Khan thought without a shadow of a doubt that was going to pull in a million viewers. I guarantee you he thought that was going to pull in a million viewers.
Even if you pulled in a million, what are you going to do with them if you can't deliver quality product? I mean, we shouldn't be talking about this. We should be talking about Swerve challenging Samoa Joe. We should be Bryan Danielson facing Will Ospreay. We should be getting hyped up for some amazing talents who do what they do best, pro wrestle. But instead, we're talking about the fever dream of an ADHD rich kid gone wild.
Wow, very nice.
Great psychological jargon there, by the way. But here's the thing, EC3. So, in Vince, you mentioned the numbers. He's pulling in numbers based on someone who doesn't work for the company anymore.
Exactly. And not only that, Chris, here's what they're going to say. You want to get really more bizarre than that, Chris? Here's going to be their excuse now. I'm telling you right now, get ready for it. They're going to say they use that footage to help set up an angle with the Young Bucks and FTR. And my answer to that is, wait a minute, bro. You're setting up an angle around somebody that works for the competition?
Right.
Think about, because, bro, that's at this point, that's the only thing they can say. We did it to set up an angle. So you're going to use Punk, who works for the WWE, to set up an angle.
That's desperate.
That's ridiculous, bro.
If I don't know what desperate is, if that's not desperate, I don't know what the heck desperate is, man.
Yeah, desperation is a stinky cologne. You think the fact you have two of the most popular tag teams of the modern era wrestling would be enough to sell two of the most popular tag teams of the era wrestling.
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, the number, I don't know, the decline in numbers is like correlating with the rise of inflation. I mean, these two P's in this pod, not good.
And I swear, Chris, and you know what's going on, man? You want to talk about two companies heading in two different freaking directions, right? Yep. So, bro, as this is going, I guess this was last night. I don't know if it was last night or the night before, bro. Maybe it was Tuesday night, but I'm sitting here watching the Yankee game, and there's Damian Priest in the booth, and I'm like, bro, like that's awesome. That's freaking awesome. So Damian Priest is in the booth with the title, and freaking Tony Khan is playing this game with himself, bro. He's 100% lost his way. He's totally lost, bro.
Yeah, and he's going to continue. Like it was a tweet that he did after that that was congratulating about something with TBS. Yeah, just got the great news from TBS Network last night, Wednesday night Dynamite, up 29% from last week.
Yeah.
And up 17% over prior 6-week average. Thank you all for watching AEW Wednesday. See you at a stacked TBS show Wednesday in Indy and rampaging and colliding this weekend.
Bro, do you know what we did one week to increase the ratings by 29%? Okay, he's going through all this. You know what we did one week, EC3? You're going to get a kick out of this. Shawn Michaels went out the week before and told everybody, next week, I am going to walk naked to the middle of the ring. I don't care about, standards and practices. I don't care. But I am going to walk naked to the center of the ring. So, bro, ratings were up 30%. Shawn Michaels walked a dog called naked to the middle of the ring, bro. Okay, we didn't have to fight each other.
Yeah, and neither did he bring somebody from WCW.
Yeah, exactly.
Show some footage to increase almost 30%. Yeah. I mean, are we reaching like Herb Abrams vibes now? Like, are we there yet?
Who's Herb?
The UWF guy that was was like a big cokehead. Unfortunately, it was just all over the place. It had that really, really bad promotion that didn't work out.
Chris, just think about the after effects to this, right, bro? Because this is what I was thinking about today. So anybody that pairs up CM Punk's interview with the footage is going to say, bro, he verbatim of what Punk said. So now, bro, here's what happens. Now when Tony goes out for interviews, like he always does, they're going to ask him that. Like, Tony, you showed the footage, but it was verbatim of what CM... Bro, how does he answer that?
Well, he'll probably answer just like all the other times. He'll try to dismiss it like it doesn't happen. Like anytime people ask him about the incident, like he'll just dismiss it. And he does that every time, every press conference, every interview. But it's weird that he wanted to honor NDAs from everybody else and really enforce them. And then he plays the footage as if he has a point to prove, though. That's what I'm trying to gather. That's what I'm really trying to gather amongst this. Okay, if you had a point to prove, I still think it's tacky professionally to make an angle and make a big announcement of it if it's not the truth. Perhaps you address it on an interview of saying it was wrong, but you dismiss the interviews. You bypass them and sell the questions there. But it's just tacky, especially if you're using him for the sake of building an angle on Dynamite that's not going to move the needle. And that's what I don't understand.
Bro, I want to ask EC3 a question because, bro, I was thinking about this and I'm sure you were too. Bro, can you imagine if this was Aunt Dixie?
I was in the gym thinking about doing this today and like what parlay could I have made? I forgot what I had in my head, but it was like, imagine if Kurt Angle was going to go back home to WWE to finish out his career, but he got into a backstage brouhaha with, I don't know, Manic. And he put him in a front face lock because Manic wouldn't shut up about how cool Manic is. And then Aunt D made this big announcement after he left and after he had a King's homecoming.
8 months after the incident. 8 months.
Months after the incident, comes out and tells you, darling, and like somebody asked Kurt about it, and he said, yeah, like I probably wasn't in the right, but Manic, he just kept talking about how cool Manic is. And I just had to yoke him up in a chokehold for a second just to remind him he's not that cool. And Ed D comes out there and does the big spiel, the big announcement. Oh my God, slayed, filleted, just beaten to death by you people. I mean, the internet, you know, and probably rightfully so.
Wow. Yeah. It definitely.
And Chris, here's a part we didn't even talk about. You know, EC3 hit upon this, which makes him look even more ridiculous. Bro, this is the time he was talking about where he was afraid for his life.
Yeah.
Bro, he came like literally, Punk came within freaking 5 feet of him, and the dude's behind the table at the gorilla position. So there was a table between him and Punk was at least 6 to 10 feet away from him.
Yeah.
So now on top of Punk telling the truth, oh my God, bro, do you look like a puss?
So is he going to like fear for his life when there's any type of backstage altercation of people who are just like manning it out and just having some type of issues? We got some beef. Let's get it going. Let's throw some hands a little bit, and then all of a sudden that's going to make Tony Khan scared for his life. That's why I don't understand that, man. It's like, here's my thing: if CM Punk would have just mauled Jack Perry to oblivion, maybe he would have looked at him like, "Oh man, I'm scared of my life because that could be me." And he didn't even, like, from what Punk said and what we saw in the footage, he didn't even like approach him like with a physical threat from a standpoint physical threat. He just verbally said he quit. And how can he fear his life based on that? I don't understand it.
I believe he said, "This is not a real business."
Yes.
Or "This is a joke," and I quit.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you harken back to, that court case in 1973, somebody said something kind of similar to that before there was a beating on the street. That's not real. That's not real. He verbally assaulted him. That's how scary it was. Man, this is jumped the shark so high. I got Fonz at ground level looking up at the stars. It's out of control.
I think in the annals of pro wrestling history, this is going to be in many videos and many documentaries as one of the biggest flops in pro wrestling history, especially with all the announcements. And then, you know what else was petty too? Yeah, this is sad. What else was petty too was somehow, because of the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns hype, he decides to book Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes for the main event for Dynamite.
Well, I mean, that's a cool match, but like,
I mean, not taking away that it's a cool match, it's not coincidental though.
But if I'm to remember that this whole experiment began on sports and winnings mean something, and there's a ranking system, isn't there? I don't know if Dustin necessarily rapidly climbed up the rankings to earn a title shot.
Yeah.
Or is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Piggyback.